Hey, it's Rob and welcome to Axel's Garage. Today we're out here again with Cosmo and we are replacing the taillights. So, see what we got. We got a box, we got bulbs, we're going LED and we're putting new taillights in. We do have a cracked one on this side. That was the reason why I was actually looking for taillights, I should say tailgates. So, I googled around a little bit and I found a aftermarket taillight. This side, good, I read the right one. I found an aftermarket taillight that actually has a smoked middle section where the amber is. So you got to put a amber bulb in here so that it blinks amber, but because it's smoked, a regular amber bulb doesn't really it does shine through amber, but it doesn't have the vibrancy that it should have. Vibrancy, is that a word? Vibrancy. So anyway, nice taillight, seems to be halfway decent, made in China quality. It's not broken. That's a good thing to always check for, because sometimes you do get them in there. They're cracked already in the box. This one seems to be in decent shape. They are DOT compliant, and they do come with amber bulbs, regular incandescent amber bulbs, because they know that when you put this in, you have to change these bulbs. So they do come with these bulbs. I don't believe they come with the other bulbs. Doesn't matter because we're going LED on this one. So pulling these out is fairly easy. 10mm bolts. 1, 2, 3. Okay, we'll put our bolts there. And there's a clip. Show you on the new one, right? You got your 3 bolts in this plastic flange, and there's this clip on the bottom that holds it in place. This one, the clip is, broken right off. So we're going to pull out our bulbs, and they usually be like a quarter turn to get them out. These are in here pretty tight, and they're retained by a little screw there. It looks like it might be, I don't know, like a 7 or 8mm. I'll have to get something for that. 7mm. That sounded like a screw breaking out of brittle plastic in these 20-year-old light sockets. So we got the screw in the retainer. Now we can pop out bulbs. Alright, and we got the 3 of them out. And this cracked thing here, I mean, they're still good. They're going to go in the box, they're going to go in the attic, and we're going to hold on to them. So now we got our bulbs here. So you got your top, which is your brake light and running light. You got your middle one, which is going to go in the smoked housing. That's your amber. And then you got your backup, which is right down here, a clear bulb. Now we're going to LEDs. When you're using LEDs in a housing that's got color on it, you can put a white LED. So you can put a white LED here, a white LED here, and if this was yellow, if it was the original one that we were using, and it had the yellow with the amber, you can go white LED. But if you're using real bright LEDs, a lot of times what it'll do is when you light it up, because the bulb is white and it's very bright, it kind of washes out the color a little bit. So you don't get that intensity in the color. So when you use a good quality LED, what I like to do is go red. Amber, it's got to be here because of the smoked housing, and then of course white down here. So I am going to go with red here. I have always just used white in the past, and I noticed that the better LED bulb that I got, it's just kind of washed the color out. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to pull these bulbs out, and they're not really too burnt up in here. Sometimes they're really burnt and cruddy in here. These aren't too bad. So I am going to use my reds on top. So let's get my reds. Here's my reds. Alright, these bulbs that I'm using today are from JDM A-Star or JD Master or JDM A-Star. It's JDM A-Star. I contacted them about getting a decent quality bright bulb. I'll link them in the description below. But I wanted something bright. We're going to take a little bit of dielectric grease, and I'm going to put some on either side of the bulb socket, just to prevent corrosion from heat in the future. These LED bulbs have a decent heat sink on them. They are a projector in the front, and then they have the LEDs going around the side. Like I said, the specs and everything will be in the description below. I'm going to plug these in. I can get them to go in. The housing's really tight. We are not making it in the housing. Huh. I'm not going to make it in any of these housings. Oh, I hate when I have a fail like that. You know, it's always something when you're doing LED bulbs. Nothing ever just works. Alright, so we're going to have to do a little trimming. A little trimming on these sockets. It's actually the sides of the sockets that are built up a little bit, and they are stopping us from getting in there. So let me get something to trim with. Why they wouldn't fit in this housing the way they're designed. Alright, so let me zoom the camera in and show you what I made of this hodgepodge of crap here. Really not happy with the way these bulbs turned out. Alright, so the bulb is in. Alright, goes into the socket very nicely. Alright, what I had to do was I had to remove these side pieces here and the clips that hold the original bulb in, which you really don't need a clip in there for the bulb. I don't think these are going to go anywhere. They're in there nice and tight. It's LED bulbs, man. They don't have the factory specs down. So it's just really annoying that LED bulbs just don't, like, why can't they make the plug the same size so that it's going to work when you plug it in? You know, here's the bottom of the here's the bottom piece of the broken taillight that goes into this rubber grommet there. So now these, I don't know if they put them in 180 off, if they won't light up. So let's just put it on and make sure. That should be on. It gets brighter when I put my foot on the brake, so I know that one's good. So now I have the next one, which is going to be the amber, and I'm going to have the same problem, I'm sure, with the amber, because they look to be the same bulbs. But before I start trimming and cutting, funny thing is, the guy from JDM A-Star, I told him the vehicle that I was working on, and actually these fit in pretty good. These fit in great. Look at that. It's only that. I wonder why that is. These fit in great. These are definitely different. Wow. Look at my other ones. The other ones look good too. So it's just these red ones. So it's just the red ones. That's great. I'm not going to have to futz with anything. So here's my ambers. Let me put some dielectric grease on that. I'm going to plug my amber in. Now that's a turn signal only, so I've got to turn the ignition on, see if the turn signal works. Okay, so that one's working. And with the vehicle in reverse, I could take these, which are supposed to be white, and these, you know, the bottoms where it goes into the socket, these are good too. So it was just those red ones, and we're going to have to deal with. Like I said, trimming it down, it does not appear that they're going to go anywhere. What I will do before I stick it in is go in here, hopefully not pop the fuse, and give a little squeeze. So that there's more of a squeeze on the terminal. Alright, so there's our red, our reverse. Okay, now we can start putting it back together. Alright, so we plugged them into the socket there, and now I'm just going to put this little clippy dicky back on to hold the wire. And now, when you tuck it in, the bottom is supposed to go into that grommet. Got it. Oh, man. That is a squeeze. Maybe on the other side I'll use a little lube, but that is tough to get in there. Alright, so with that in, I can put in the thread. And that's it. Now that I got all that in, alright, I want to close this up here just to get a good look at the difference between the two. So I'll move the camera. Alright. And we got the big dummy here. So the big dummy go in the car. Put it in, put your foot on the brake, put it in park. Because it's actually in reverse right now. Alright, put it in park. Okay, now let's go with brake light. Foot on the brake. Off the brake. Okay, now turn the lights off. Foot on the brake. Off the brake. Right directional. Alright, so we got a good yellow color coming through that smoke lens. Left directional. And you can see the difference with the incandescent bulb. Alright, turn it off. Put the headlights on. Just one click out. You don't have to put it 2 clicks out. Alright, that's your regular marker light. You can see how much brighter it is through that housing. Foot on the brake. Put on the hazards. Take your foot off the brake. On top of the column, slide it. Come on, dummy.
What shit is that?
Ooh, look at that. We got something going on with the hazards. Wonder if there's a second flasher for the hazards.
Yeah, because when it turned on, it flashed one. And
Turn the hazards off again.
You saw it on the side. Just
Go right directional. Okay. Left directional. Okay. Blinkers off. Lights off. Put it in reverse. Ah, it's a lot brighter. Alright, put it in park. Foot off the brake. Now turn the hazards on again. Flashed once.
Flash.
Got to be another bulb flash for the hazards, maybe. Okay. All right. Thanks, Robbie. All right. So I'm happy with the taillights themselves, and I was happy with this bulb and this bulb. Not happy about that red bulb. I mean, we got it to work. No big deal. But it definitely wasn't plug and play. I don't know if it was packaged wrong. He gave me the wrong part number, whatever it is. I'll still link it below. You know, if you get it and you can send it right back if it's not going to fit. But it was the same. It's the same pretty much part number as the other two, just a different color. So I can't figure that out. It works. Little struggle getting that bottom piece in that grommet. Now I understand why the other one was broken, because probably when they take these out they break them all the time. We did replace the flasher. So we put an electronic flasher in the previous video. I'll link that up here. And we did that because we actually had a flasher problem. But now we got a hazard issue where it lights up bright the first time on the hazards, and then it's not lighting after that, and then it just stops flashing completely. So I don't know if that's because we only got one side done, or if there's a separate flasher for the hazards, which is possible. I know that, you know, Robbie's K5 Blazer has two separate flashes. I never really, I don't know. I don't know if there's a separate hazard flasher. So we'll have to look into why that is, and we'll figure that out as we start replacing all of them. So I'm going to do the other side, and that's it for this video. I kind of like them. It's a nice housing, gives it a nice look. It's really nice in deep colors, so I like the way it looks. That's it today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next video.